proximity is power, and they're going to be here for you to be able to create powerful relationships with. And you have to come in with an open mind. That's really key. If you come into a conference with an open mind and ready to make some magic happen, the magic will happen. Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it. Hey, our sponsor for the show today is Pine Financial Group, the leader in hard money lending in Colorado and Minnesota. And they were recently approved to offer their investment publicly. This investment offer is only for investors in Colorado and Minnesota and is only made through their investment prospectus. Get your copy today. Simply visit www.pineinvestments.com and click to get started. Look, there's a reason why some of the wealthiest people in history invest in loans backed by real estate. Learn more about the risks and returns at www.pineinvestments.com.
Welcome back to another edition of Hump Day Hustle, the show where we focus on business and real estate as our core pillars of wealth creation. My name is John Stiles with Bridge Realty, and I'm excited for another great episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of attending a conference and just different aspects of what you should think about how many you should attend in a year, and just what things you can expect to get out of going to a conference. So with that, here's our host, Todd Dexheimer. Todd, how are you doing today?
I am doing excellent, John. How are you doing?
Doing good. Trying to get through the summer heat.
We got a little bit of a warm spell, but that's all right because we had like winter till like mid-May. So now this is welcome. So
not complaining, just enjoying it though.
Perfect. Anything new on your front that you want to cover?
Not too much. You know, it's a day-to-day grind. It's not always exciting. But it's fun just interacting with people that are in my line of work, that are my customers, helping them through their transactions. So yeah, not too much to report, but just keeping at it.
Cool. Yeah, for me, before we even hit record, I said I feel like I've been distracted more than anything. I just haven't gotten anything done. Just feel kind of like overwhelmed and need to get back to some of my time blocking, and I just feel like I've been distracted, and maybe disrupted is the right term. So sometimes that happens in our business, and we got to like just slow down, focus, and hit the reset button. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is just slow down, hit the reset button. I think it started from last week, as I was, said last week. It just like was gone for a few days, and I was trying to catch up on emails, and I feel like I've still never caught up. But that's how it is. Eventually you just got to hit the reset and go, okay, let's do this. Let's get back on track and really focus on trying to grow and build a business. So with that said, let's get on to our topic.
Yeah, so everybody knows by now that we've got a conference coming up, the North Star Real Estate Conference, and we're really excited for it. It's going to be a great time to connect with other people in the industry, to learn new things, to kind of be inspired. And so we just want to talk about some of the benefits that people should expect and why they should sign up.
Yeah, cool. So, I was at a meetup the other day, and, meetups are free or cheap. You can go to these meetups, and it's a couple hours, and you get some good education. You might meet a few people, and they're usually, $5 free, maybe $20, maybe $30, but they're not very expensive, right? So you could attend a bunch of meetups for fairly inexpensive. But there's a couple things that I think meetups really are lacking. Now, meetups are great. I say people should go to meetups and find the ones that fit for you. But with meetups, you've got a short period of time to cover some topics. And I think the content on the meetups is not quite as in depth as something like our conference will we'll be covering. And then the people, it just maybe isn't quite as much time to network and really not set up potentially for that. Depends on the meetup and how well they're set up. But so meetups are great. I'm not trying to slam meetups, but I feel like every time I attend a conference, after the conference and during the conference, my motivation level spikes. Absolutely spikes. And that's way more than any kind of meetup. And I think it's because I've got 2 or maybe even 3 days being fed a ton of fantastic information, meeting some amazing people, and it really helps motivate me to go to the next level. Not only that, but at every single conference that I've ever been to, I have met people that have helped expand my business. I have made connections that have made me my conference fee back times probably 100, maybe even more. I mean, sometimes you can't even count it because that just continues to keep on feeding you. So I've got some fantastic relationships I've built, amazing people I have met and known, and then get referrals from them. They're just constant resources. I've formed some partnerships and mastermind groups. I've found investors that I've built relationships with and who have invested in my deals. So through these masterminds, through these conferences, I have really, I think, expanded my network. Probably that's the biggest benefit that I see from a conference is being able to expand your network. So my opinion, you 10x, minimum 10x. I mean, that's the big term right now, 10x. But you minimum 10x your investment on any of these conferences. So the right conferences, but everyone that I've been to has been the right conference. I have by far exceeded the amount of money that I've spent, and that's spent on the ticket and on travel, all that kind of stuff. Every conference I've been to has been out of state. This conference is the only conference of its kind that I know in the Twin Cities. So anybody in the Twin Cities who's listening to this, I think it's crazy if you don't attend, if you're serious about your business. But even the people that are out of state, you're going to get the value out of a conference, out of this conference by attending, even though you're spending potentially an airline ticket, hotel room, food. You're just going to get the value. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of synergy and energy when all these people come together and they've got this one focus of learning and networking to further on their real estate investing career. And there's so much opportunity to just to provide value to others and to gain from what they have to learn or what they have to share. So when you get away for an extended amount of time, it just really helps you focus on that. Get away from all the other distractions. Where if you go to a meetup, like you said, those are great and I love those, but they're like an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is, and then you're back at your job or whatever it is. So this, you get to just get away and spend some extended time with like-minded people.
Yep. Hey, let's take a minute to thank our sponsor, Pine Financial Group. Look, you work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Because of inflation, money sitting idle erodes your wealth. Many investors understand that real estate is a great investment, but may not want the effort or the risk that comes with owning their own property. They want to sit back and have payments, hit their bank account each and every month. Stop eroding your wealth and start building it by asking your money to work for you. You should be earning profits while you sleep, an investment backed by real estate. Pine Financial Group, the leader in hard money lending in Colorado and Minnesota, was recently approved to offer their investment publicly. This investment offer is only for investors in Colorado and Minnesota and is only made through the investment prospectus. Get your copy today. Simply visit www.pineinvestments.com and click to get started. There's a reason why some of the wealthiest people in history invest in loans backed by real estate. Learn more about the risks and returns at www.pineinvestments.com. It's www.pineinvestments.com. Now, how do you actually choose the right conference? Because obviously I want everybody to choose our conference, but how do you choose the right conference? Because our conference may not be the best fit for you. Now, if you're listening to this podcast, I would say it's probably going to be a very good fit for you. How do you choose the right conference? And it boils down to, is it going to be productive for me to be there, right? I want to maximize my time. I might have a family, maybe I got kids, a wife or husband, and I just want to make sure that anytime I'm gone, that I maximize my value. Maybe I've got to take a day off of work because I work full time and one of the days is a Friday, the other day is a Saturday. So is this going to provide the value that I need to justify taking the time away from my family, taking the time away from work, taking the time away from whatever else I could be doing at that time? So that's kind of what I look at.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's other conferences, they have different focuses. Ours has a little bit of uh, different things, lots of commercial emphasis, lots of emphasis on raising capital and learning from, experiences of successful people that have done that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, so that's just it. Here's what I look at. Who are my speakers? I think I look really closely at who are the speakers and what are their niches. So if you look at our speakers list, you can get an idea of what we're going to be talking about. So we've got one of the larger developers in the Twin Cities, very successful. They've been around for years. They're going to be speaking, and they do a lot of low-income housing, but they do market rate. They've done some hotels, and they own things long-term. They're owning things for 30, 40 years. And so there's a company that mostly in multifamily. We've got several guys that are really, really good at guys and gals that are really, really good at raising money. So they're going to be talking about raising money, working with investors, talking about marketing for that, and how do we talk with investors and all that kind of stuff. We've got some very successful apartment syndicators. So they're going to be talking about value add multifamily. They're going to be talking about best practices in multifamily. They're going to be talking about syndication and what it is and how to do it in multifamily. We've got some very successful realtors, one being you, and we got a couple others coming that are going to be talking about, how to work with brokers. How do we do marketing? How are they building their success? So even though we might not be a realtor, now some of you may be, but even though you may not be a realtor, even if you're an investor, having that knowledge, how do you talk with brokers is really important, of course, but then how do you market? Because it doesn't matter what business you're in, you're still marketing. Now realtors, if they're successful, are doing a very good job selling and marketing. We've got some commercial people. They're going to be talking about commercial real estate, which is a little bit different from multifamily, even though multifamily is commercial, but they're going to be talking about different aspects in commercial real estate, mostly value add, industrial, light industrial, some retail and so on. We got a mobile home guy coming. We got self-storage guy coming. I'm sure I'm missing a ton. We got a motivational kind of speaker, more mindset business coach. That's Trevor. And what else do we have, John, of our speaker list? We've got some single family, more like the flipping. People have been a lot very successful at flipping. So a lot of that talk is going to be kind of on the single family, but a lot of it's going to be again on marketing and how do we find off market deals, and that's related to even the multifamily or the commercial.
Yep. And I think as kind of in parallel to your podcast here is a lot of people that are just in charge of large real estate companies and just how do they operate those companies to be successful.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of great insights from that.
So the reason I think looking at the speaker list is important first of all, I want to make sure it's topics that I want to hear about. And then secondly, I want to make sure the people that are going to be attending are people I want to be surrounded by, right? So if I'm looking at a conference and it's all single family, it's all about flipping and wholesaling and stuff like that, well, that might not be the conference for me. Now, if that's what you want, of course, that's the conference for you. But that might not be the conference for me because that's just not what I do right now, at least. And so not only are the topics going to be something I'm not super excited about, but the people that are going to be there are people that, not that they're not great people, but aren't really aligning with where I'm at right now in my investing. So that's maybe not the best one for me. This one, I think, is the best one for me because it's the type of people I'm aligning myself with.
Yep, for sure.
What else, John? Anything else when you're looking at conferences? For me, the other thing is, like I go to, how many conferences do I want to go to a year? And that to me is a really important thing to think about. Like, you don't want to be gone every single month probably at a conference. So, okay, so how many am I going to go to a year? That's really important. So for me, it's about 4 or so conferences a year. You might be 6, you might be 2, but how many conferences a year do you really want to go to? And then are there going to be some of the same people, but a lot of different people at those conferences? So what's the crowd? And again, that goes down to the speakers as well, because they all bring some of their network in.
Yeah, and I would say also the location, because a lot of the conferences are held in Las Vegas or down in Florida, so you're going to maybe attract a different crowd. But, this one being up in the Midwest, you're going to have our crowd up here. And so you can network with local investors here, and which there's a lot of, and it's really great community. So, each conference that you go to, you're going to connect with different people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people from Minnesota and Wisconsin and North Dakota and Iowa. But there's going to be people from everywhere, quite frankly. There's people from California that'll be coming, from New York, from all over the place. But there's definitely likely going to be a regional effect. And that's probably the case on every conference. There's more of a regional effect on every conference. And Minneapolis is super easy to get to. Delta is, they're right here, and you can easily get into the Twin Cities. We've got a lot of flights coming in and out. It's relatively affordable to book a hotel. So that's another thing that I look at. I attended a conference in Nashville, Tennessee last year, and it was a great conference, but it was extremely expensive to stay at. I think hotels were like $400 to $800 a night. It was crazy. And that's just not something that's going to happen in the Twin Cities area. So,
Unless you want to, you can.
Sure, you can.
Available for that.
Yeah, but like you're getting like a Best Western in Nashville for like $450. It was just crazy. So, but yeah. Anyways, so I think I would encourage, of course, everybody that's listening to this to attend our conference. But if it's not our conference that you attend, no offense taken from us, but we think that you should be attending conferences. We think you should really think about how many do you want to attend a year, and then what kind of value are you getting them. The most important thing that you get out of conferences, in my opinion, is the people that you meet, the networking that you can do. We're going to provide a lot of networking opportunities. And the reason we do that is because I think that's the most important thing about a conference. We're going to have networking opportunities during the conference and after the conference. We want people to get to know each other. I want everybody to get to know some great people. And that's the most value. Now, we are going to have amazing speakers. And I would encourage you to listen to those speakers and get value from them as well and meet them, and potentially even do business with some of them. But beyond that, there's just going to be amazing people there for you to meet. And that's really important. So whether it's our conference or somebody else's conference, again, just figure out how many you're going to attend a year and make a point to do that. Make a point to make sure that you get to some conferences, like whether that's 2, 6, 8, whatever it is, make a point to do it.
Yeah, and we've talked so many times before on this podcast that, you know, real estate is a team sport. You need to network with other people, other professionals, other investors, and meeting people that are like-minded at these types of conferences is really a great way to do it.
Yep. Proximity is power. If you want to find investors, if you want to find partners, if you want to learn how to do anything that, of course, that we're going to be covering, if you want to join different groups, whatever it is, proximity is power, and they're going to be here for you to be able to create powerful relationships with. And you have to come in with an open mind. That's really key. If you come into a conference with an open mind and ready to make some magic happen, the magic will happen.
Yep. Open and expectant too.
Yep. Yep. Cool, John. Well, that's all I got on conferences. I just encourage people to really think about and be intentional about what you're doing and think about what value that you can get out of a conference. And quite frankly, what value can you add when you're at the conference? Can you do anything while you're there? And the answer is, of course, yes. You need to figure out, okay, how am I going to add value? What am I going to get out of this conference? And who am I going to help at this conference?
Yeah, it can be a really good idea before you come to really get your mindset straight that what do you have to bring to that can be of value to other people you're going to meet, so that
Yeah.
you know, as you meet people that you're hoping to gain the value from them, what do you have in exchange? So whether
Yeah.
that's knowledge or connections, other networking. So do some work ahead of time before you come too.
Awesome. Well, cool, John. That's all I got. Why don't you give us a wrap?
Okay, yeah. If those of you who are listening and viewing, we really appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to comment below, whether it's the YouTube video or on our Facebook page. And while you're at it, of course, we really appreciate your rating and review on iTunes. That's where we can really build our network and our brand of this show and let more people hear about it. So thank you so much for listening.
And John, for the listeners, nreconference.com is where they can go right now. They can type in early bird to get $100 off, and that will be ending soon. It'll be ending, I think we got it set for August 10th. So make sure you sign up now if you don't want to pay an extra $100. Sign up now. And I would encourage you, once you sign up, share it with your network and let's spread the word, get some more people out here. Bring fantastic people to this conference that are like-minded. Let's knock this thing out of the park. I'd be excited to have a full crowd and really create some major energy on this conference. So
Sounds good.
cool, man. We'll talk to you soon. Make every day a Saturday. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Couple things before we go. Again, go on to our Facebook page, Pillars of Wealth. We'd love to have you on there. Go on to iTunes, give us a rating and review, and subscribe to the show. Also, don't forget, reach out to me if you want any help with potentially growing your business, and reach out to John Stiles to help you buy or sell real estate. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Have a fantastic the rest of the day. And as I say, make every day a Saturday.